All right. I think we already have several people in. That's good. Okay. We may just wait the diplomatic 1 minute or two. Yeah. Okay.
But hopefully I don't have any problem sharing my screen. So
sorry,
you'll pass me the share at some point, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, great.
Stop sharing and then try to get it. I think you should.
Share screen. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Entire screen, share. There we go.
Excellent.
All right, very good. Okay, I'll stop presenting.
Okay, cool. But all right, we can start now. I believe this is all good. We are 2 past 4 p.m. in Europe.
Oh wait, I suppose I need to share first, don't I?
Yes.
Or do you want to? Yes. Or do you want to start with the? You want to start with your splash screen up first, and I take over.
Oh yeah, maybe. No, that's fine. At that point, you can just start to share your screen, because after that I will go for a series of slides. And then you can just start with something about Bob. And by the way, team, now majority of people are already in. I know this is official, but I believe in 1 month from today, Bob will be GA for everyone, right?
Yeah. I'm super happy to announce that we actually have an announcement to make IBM Bob an official product. It's a real boy. So IBM Bob has an official RFA, and the general availability for that is March 24.
Right.
That will include multiple different purchasing options. One is the ability for you as a person to go to the IBM Bob website, splash your credit card, and get access to Bob. And Bob will come in a couple different modes where you can get, a low mode, a medium mode, and an ultra mode, and where you get, basically it's you just getting a lot more coins for the month. And
Right.
then there's also the enterprise support, which is where you can go to IBM Sales, much like you do with all the rest of your software and hardware that you get from IBM, where you can bundle all that together and get a pool of tokens that your company can use for a select number of developers. So that would be the enterprise plan. So that's all coming in March 24th. Now, spoiler, I will say it could be any day. It wasn't today, but it could be any day. The individual plans will be available, we're hoping early, but we just don't know when yet. So follow me on LinkedIn. Follow me on LinkedIn, because once they go live, I will be posting.
Yes. We will definitely. That's good. But in any case, many of us already benefit of the early access, which is very interesting. But that's good news. Then in a month or less than a month, everyone will be able to totally jump within the power of Bob.
Yes.
That's great. But maybe you can show us a little bit of the most smashing thing that Bob could do for IBM application.
Absolutely. Those that have known me, I mean, Pascal, you and I've had this conversation. I think we started this conversation, I don't know, 13, 14 years ago, sitting in a French restaurant while sitting in England, talking about program modernization, right? How do we help people get from this, the current state, which is, if you will, where we all started in 1989, to where we should be, which is normal modern development, which, of course, right there at the bottom, right, put in special for you, Pascal, right? Automated testing, right? This is huge. So one of the things that I'm super excited about is, while we've been able to do all this stuff on the right-hand side for years now, the struggle is, how do you move from the left side to the right side?
Yeah.
And the thing that I love about what Bob brings to the table It's this ability to overcome fear. And many customers haven't moved forward because they have, fear, right? And quite frankly, this limited talent, complex systems, workload constraints, unsure how to proceed. Really, it's also fear of breaking things at the bottom, at the end of the day, because you're running an enterprise business and you don't want to break that. So the one thing that I think is really fun, right? This new tool is definitely more than just a coding assistant. It's really targeted to be a complete software development lifecycle modernization partner. It's intended to help you as a developer, you as an architect, with all aspects of your software development process. It just so happens to be really, really good at the IBM programming stacks. So what we've done is we have taken and forked VS Code, and we have integrated this development partner into VS Code. So when you get Bob, it's not like you're going and getting VS Code and then adding Bob. No, when you get Bob, we are delivering to you this entire VS Code entity. And it's really intended to be this partner where I, as a developer, ask questions of Bob. I ask Bob to go perform tasks. Bob then goes about performing those tasks, but putting a very developer-centric lens on how it approaches these tasks. And then it'll ask questions. That's the cool part. Bob will ask you questions on how do you want to do it? How do you want to proceed? And then if you see something that Bob does and, well, I don't like it that way, I want to do it this way. Oh, great. You can just ask Bob to do it your way. So it's this really fun interaction.
No, it is. And from my experience, I'm now playing since a few months, and this is impressive. But the interaction, and see that there is an evolution, that Bob is understanding things, the more it's going into your application, your modality of doing things. This is really good.
Now, as far as use cases, obviously understand, explain, being able to take these native IBM applications, right? Just for the heck of it, I'm going to flip over to my Bob, and I got some beautiful RPG2 here, or RPG3, or whatever it is. It's all ancient stuff, and I can ask Bob to create me a design doc for this junk, right? So actually, I am going to bring up. So if I just, come here and just say, yo, Bob, create a design as IGN doc for, let me do file, and I'll do this guy here, and well, off we'll go. And Bob's going to go off and start the conversation. So first thing Bob's going to do is take whatever it is that I typed into the command prompt, and it's going to go figure out and regurgitate back to me, what did I mean? Now, there we go. So he's going to take Tim and respond back in Bob, right? So he's telling you, I'll create a design document for you. But first, Bob needs to go get context. So before Bob can do stuff, he wants to go read some files. Well, I actually have a design document out there for a different program. Oh, sure, I'll let Bob go ahead and look at that. That could be helpful to Bob, since I believe this program references some of that kind of stuff. Bob is also going to go, oh, there we go, going to go start working on creating the document here. And you can see, right, it's going to have a program overview, a system architecture, flow, data structures, screen layouts, error handling, program parameters, technical specifications. So it's really going to go in depth on doing this. Now, I'm actually running not on the code that I wanted, because normally when we do these kind of things, one of the things that is pretty useful is Bob will create
an overview
let me go
design.
right. If I go open this up in preview mode, Bob will leverage a package called Mermaid to create pretty pictures. So this is the entire Flight 400 design doc, right? Where you have a high-level architecture, you get your database relationships. And it took probably, 5-6 minutes for Bob to go through all of these applications to create this detailed, this is the flow for reservations, for main app, for flight selections. You can see each one of these things are detailed. And that's kind of some of the power that Bob really provides. And then if you want to take it to the next level, right? I've got this old ugly, and I can take Bob and go, yo, Bob, let's clean it up. So converted it to fully freeform. And better yet, I took some of these cryptic variable names that were, a mystery, even at best of times, because it was 6 characters. And I told Bob, why don't you create, I told Bob, can you create variable names that a human can understand?
Exactly, yes.
So there's a lot of amazing use cases that we can use Bob to do. And that's, really, some of those are around this, free factors and transformation. And then, of course, really the core topic of today's conversation is really around, now that I made all these changes, I make certain I didn't screw something up, right?
Yes, that's all, exactly. This is one of the possibilities that is true. Then you have to check. But actually, I will take just your sentence to switch to because for the registration, everyone that is here, and there are more than 100 people that registers, they answer some question, which is very good, because now I can show the trend of what are the main interest or concern about all of this power, right? And I will now share my screen. Yes, screen. All right, and you should see my screen soon.
There it is. Now I just need to go on screen show mode.
All right.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Okay, then we will talk about this technology or new product soon, and you did already a tour of Bob, and we've seen through different webinars the power, this new capabilities. And through the questionnaire for the registration, everyone or majority of people answer, and we can see here the main interest. Of course, the topic today is about artificial intelligence code modernization, then this is the main interest. But we also have governance and control on agentic AI, modernization, obviously, and Bob. Yes, but let's see the next one, which is interesting. Which is the following topic related to AI governance is currently your biggest concern? And Team C, security. Security, of course, the more you go, the more you put on the cloud your data, or the more you want to share maybe your data. If you want an agentic AI to do something with it, then security is like...
So the security is huge. And this is one of those things where IBM, we as a company, our marketplace is enterprise customers. That's who we work with. So we don't typically make cute little toys to go off and do things. Our whole goal, our whole focus is to help businesses run their business. That's what we do. It's the enterprise customer. So when we created Bob, this was where we put that as our lens, secure by default, and security was the foundation, so that we could create a product that would meet those security and data protection requirements, which is some of the reasons that we don't give you the opportunity to go get VS Code and then add things in, because now we've already broken the security. We're creating a stack that we understand is secure from the ground up.
Yeah.
When it comes to the AI that's running on the back end, that's Bob's problem. We won't allow you to go add your own LLM into the mix, because again, it breaks the security, because now we've opened up a new avenue. So we've provided this secure entity today. Bob is a SaaS-based model. It's all on the cloud, where Bob chooses the LLM based on the task you ask it to do.
Yes.
You get your own workspace. So,
Yeah, yeah,
so
that
Pascal,
makes
when
sense.
you work in it, your workspace, I can't look at. And
Yep.
then the other thing, Bob never uses the data that is well, Bob is never going to look at data until you give it permission. So that's one of the things. There's always a developer gives permission for Bob to look at, and then that data is only and ever used for just tasks that you asked it to do. So we don't learn from it. We don't. It's all private. It's all very much maintained from a security perspective.
Yeah, and this is a very important, as we can also see here, and a very important point. And it's good. All you say is will help people to sleep better tonight or in the future.
I mean, the reality is, if I don't provide a tool that meets those security requirements, my IBMI customer set, nobody can use it. So it does me no good. So
yes, exactly. And there are also a matter, with auditability and traceability, with all the regulation we've got, especially in Europe, but also in the US or everywhere in the world, because you need to be auditable, to be traceable, to follow, and also there are some strong conditions, especially for banking system or insurance system, to have always a business continuity. Then you need to have a governance that is well traced and well designed by whatever you are using, with Bob or not.
Yep. Which I also find fascinating, because it comes to that whole compliance and things. How many of our customers are still doing source control application build like it's 1984?
Yeah. Yes.
So you kind of got to question how much are they really doing towards the whole world of compliance and governance, regulatory, with some of those older systems. But we won't get into that.
Yes. But in any case, Bob will be able to help.
Yes, for sure.
Another things, how would you rate the current maturity level of AI governance and control within your organization?
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty interesting, because we know many of us already start to play with Bob or other. We've got Claude, ChatGPT, and other LLM available on the market, or to play or to do some more enterprise level of activities. And what you just said 2 minutes ago about Bob give confidence, because the trustability is very important.
Yeah, well, I mean, I tell you, at IBM, there's some of the tools that you mentioned that we can't use. Those are no-nos. So, yeah.
Okay. Yes. I already understood. Now, what the primary benefit from a solution like AI production gate is the topic of today, of course. Then that will enable to govern workflow and what could be generated from AI to test its behavior and its output. Then, of course, it's the developer, because we are talking mainly about code changes or modernization. Then CEO will be happy about more governance, of course, and security engineer again. That's also, of course, an important point. Yes, and and because since now many months, but more recently from the capability to use Bob as an early access, many of us could see the power of Bob, but when you try the first time, transform this code, sometimes the compilation doesn't work at the first shot because something is missing, or even the compilation command is incomplete from Bob. Then you have to retry. Or even if the compilation is working fine, you may have some surprise, something that was not expected, something not complete. Then you have to check what is the output of Bob. And from your experience, I know, Tim, of course, you did many try with Bob. What is your feedback on that?
Yeah, so if we think about different use cases, when I ask Bob to do things like understand and explain, I'm scoring Bob in the high 90s. Bob is getting 95, 96, 97% accuracy, doing a great job with explain, with really no special IBMI intervention from my team. That is what we call vanilla Bob, doing great. Now, some of the other things, like we start generating code, refactoring code. This is where the fun begins, because if you get the command prompting really detailed, and you give Bob the right sets of parameters and understandings, yeah, Bob does a lot better. But if I just like give Bob a System 36 RPG program that's got the cycle in it and say, hey, Bob, transform this to freeform and fix the variable names. It's kind of comical, because, if it's got iSpecs, it might convert them to freeform. There are no iSpecs in freeform. Minor problem, right?
Yeah.
So those are some of the parameters. Those are some of the, now, in some of the work that my team is working on, we're working on adding those command prompting so that we could get our hallucination scores to go way down and our accuracy scores to go way up by providing that detail. And that's really, if you will, that next step to the whole AI proposition is, right, being able to do less hallucinations, more accuracy, and basically improved experience.
Yes, but prompting is, of course, very important, but it is not enough. When you, from my experience, I ask as well, like everyone, like modernize this code, ugly monolithic code, into something multi-tier, modular, sexy, everything. And but I could see that sometimes it was missing entire routines, or sometimes something was not complete. After the completion is all right. But in seeing these kind of things, oh, Bob, you missed this, or here's something you have to add because, and you try again, and you go in a kind of loop where manually you tell Bob what is missing, what is wrong, and eventually we could see, and that's the good news, that Bob understands, do some research. Yeah, I can see there is this parameter that is used in this way, then you have to do these other things. And we can see, and what is impressive is the capability to evolve, like his understanding. The more you go, and he's like, what you say is like, yeah, the more complete is the prompt, all right. But what I'm saying is like, yeah, but sometimes the prompt needs to be with multiple iteration.
Well, again, true statement. But if you put all of that detail in the initial prompt, Bob might get a lot more of it correct.
Oh, yes.
That's what my team is working on. Some of those details that are IBMI centric, to make certain that Bob is going to get those hallucinations greatly reduced.
Okay.
And have less interactions.
That's good. But look, because what I wanted to now highlight really is, because we understand that AI is a new paradigm. There is a lot of power here, but AI is by design probabilistic. And probabilistic is something that for a programmer Earth, like in our planet, it's either 0 or 1. Probabilistic, like maybe, definitely not, or definitely, it's not enough. We want a clear yes or no when we have to take decision. And here, the graphic that we've got on the screen is like, what about a solution that can help or test the outcome of Bob or the LLM to convert all of this power, which is probabilistic, within a deterministic pipeline, where you can check it is working the way it should work, totally yes or not. And this is the entire design of an idea of this AI production gate that is representing the missing layer for the AI definition. Like a lot of power, but we need to control it. We need to govern it.
We do.
Yes. And see, now you will soon see that in action. But within this next graphic, I'm trying to explain a little bit more what we can do. We've got Bob or other LLM, just to retake the concept of the LLM. Then you ask the LLM or Bob to do something. He's doing whatever you ask for. Your prompt is good or not, he's doing something. The code, the compile, then you have to test it entirely like real time, like in production. And maybe it is good, maybe it is not. And often it is not entirely good. Then you have to, all right, this is missing, or this is not correct, or this is not working. Try again, try harder. What about having all of this feedback loop automated? That's what we are talking about here, about automation. And to automate that, what we would need is, all right, I would need something to maybe encapsulate what you called before the full prompt, like Bob. I want to modernize this sequence of program, green screen or web, and you have to modernize it this way, and so on. But here's the context, which I could just imagine if I could record the full context to give a material to Bob, then he will have a lot of information to not only the code, but the full context, the full runtime script for what is about to change, plus the code. The runtime script is like a test scenario script already done for him. Then he's using that, doing the job, modernizing, and then testing it again with the new version of the code. And whenever something is missing, the system tells Bob, yep, this is missing, try harder. Learn and retry, learn and retry. And to enable this, you already know, we already have a webinar 2 years ago, actually, about this ReplicTest product, which is fully automated, testing automation. And I will just show you a small compacted video about these tools, and it is easier to show than this tool can encapsulate, monitor user activity, which will retake test scenarios like, this is my first menu, this is my function, my program, I call it, I navigate, I do something, and then I exit. This is one scenario, and you can encapsulate several scenarios. This is what is going on within your application, and a lot of metadata are created. And now I will just show you how it works, because it needs to be very easy. This is for our web application. We've got a web page where you put the name of the scenario, then you click start, and you go to another tab where there is preparing the backstage. Within the other tab, you've got your real web application, and you do whatever you do with your application. This is web. Here we update some record, but it could be any web application connected to the IBMI, obviously, directly or indirectly. And here I'm just updating several things. When I'm done, I'm coming back to the first tab and click stop. And that's it. A script is already generated, available on the IFS, and could be used as is to replay the scenario. Within this replay is initializing the data, redoing the whole sequence, and comparing the data at the end automatically. You need this at the level of automation to talk with Bob, no matter what. This is a script, and you can see it is on the IFS. And this script, you can change it if you want, but it is already usable as is. But this script could be called from a command line, which means we call...
That's a green screen.
Yes, just to show that it could be monitored through any command line, API, whatever in batch. Now, I will do a refresh and see there is another replay on the right table that replay the same scenario, and it passed because we didn't change any program. Now this will continue. And I will show you an example. This was a web application. For a green screen application, we still have many of us green screen. And there is a command called record 50/50 with some parameters. And here it reprompts you a new screen with a pink background to just let you know I'm recording what you're doing. And it's recording everything, not only screen navigation, but IO data, database, messages, everything. And here you can call your program, whatever it is. Here a sample again with a subfile, and we are updating a record. And we will save it. Very simple. And we exit and we give a name to the scenario. All right, green screen. And this is important because if you've got green screen, maybe you will want to modernize them. But here we've got the context that could be then used for AI to compare if the new version works the same for a functional perspective. And we've got the execute 5050 command. You put the name of the script. And there is two ways to run that: interactively, page by page, screen by screen. And here we'll repropose to you every screen, and you just have to press enter. It will mimic the F2, F4, whatever it is for you. This is just to enable you to see what's going on if you want to debug. And here you've got a real session running, but he's got the control because he's prompting all screen for you. And yep, successful. And now you've got the second way to run this green screen scenario with the parameters run in batch mode. Yes. And this is primordial because, again, the feedback loop I want to get with Bob could only work if everything is batch. You don't want your finger to click everywhere when you talk with Bob if he's trying many, many times to modernize something. And here again, you got the script. And those scripts are very powerful because you can, if you need, use variable with them. But we will talk about that maybe later. And again, I can call a green screen test scenario through the web, through a button, through API. This is all open standard. But the point is, it is fully automated, and I can replay everything in batch. This is primordial. We've got also test suite that could also interest Bob, like I'm modernizing this program. Please run me all this scenario using this program. And maybe you've got 10 scenario, 100, and you want to rerun all of them to be sure there is no regression or something. And here you've got a lot of graphic charts, which are always useful. And here we've got, yes, something I did with someone with your team, Sanjula. You guys, you leverage RPG unit tests within VS Code, and I encapsulated with all of this as well within ReplicTest to enable to rerun all of the unit tests you could set in batch or in one shot within a suite. And again, you can see them, the unit test suite from RPG unit and VS Code within the same framework. All right, this is done for the main aspect of this testing automation tool. All right, and here you can see just an overview about all the features. You've got code coverage, that is very important. Code coverage is, you can be 100 people testing 3 months your application. The best you could say at the end is, we think there is no bug, we think there is no regression. The best you could get is a perception. To give more certainty, you need metrics. Code coverage will give you metrics like, yeah, we have tested program A, and we have tested 80% of program A, or 90%, or 100%. Then yes, you can tell, yep, we've got enough tests. Okay, and there are many other features here that you can just see, but I will go ahead because we've got many things to show. Then again, very simple use. We push a lot the simplicity of the user experience because we want everyone from within the company to record test scenario, not only programmers or QA people. Any end user could do the same as is doing every day. Just press start and stop, and in between you can record a new scenario that will be leveraged by the QA or the programmer team. And here we've got advanced function, but I will go ahead for what is our topic today, which is then Bob in action. With all of this AI production gate and ReplicTest within a feedback loop. Then to enable this feedback loop, we need to be fully automated to give context to Bob, to retest the conformity of what is expected to what you ask Bob, and be able to come back to Bob with context or what is missing to enable Bob to learn and try harder. and to have everything automated, everything needs to be batch. And now you will see something in action. Right. Let me make it bigger. Okay. Just one sec. I will. All right. You can see it properly?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better. Okay. Then let's imagine we start, in this example, we start, you team, you did something with the ugly program you talked before, monolithic, ugly, cryptic code, like you asked Bob, modernize this program. Bob will suggest you, yeah, I can do this, or this. Okay, yeah, I want, of course, RPG ALE. I want clear, more understandable variable name and everything you want. You ask something to Bob, but before that, you say, okay, this program is program ABC. Bob, by the way, you can use this test scenario that will give you the script and metadata to give you more context. But do your modernization. But after you've got the code change and modernize, that's where also enter in action this AI production gate, because we ask Bob, all right, you've changed something, upload it within the IBMI, compile it, then call via MCP server yes.
So I just want to interrupt for just a second. You said the key word that I've been waiting for, the MCP server.
Yes.
That is the magic sauce right there. One of the things about the Bob architecture is it allows people like Pascal to integrate beautifully with Bob in a seamless manner, because Pascal can write an MCP server that can go off and do all sorts of things. And that, I think, is one of the real benefits of where Bob comes to light. Is it's all the stuff that we're doing, plus this ability to enhance it.
Exactly. And look, this MCP server is great because, and to explain that more to our public, the MCP server is a protocol based on HTTP server and JSON to enable Bob to call facilities, tools, resources on its own automatically.
Yes.
And it's all a matter of, all right, I am an MCP server. This is what I offer. I've got this tool, these resources, this kind of prompting. Call me if this could help. And Bob will call you. And he will orchestrate that on his own. And here, the MCP server we are talking about, we call it AI Production Gate, embed ReplicTest to test what Bob just change or generate from the coding perspective within real runtime simulation. And what I've done here is, this is why I recorded it. I asked Bob several things. Once I asked him, okay, this is an ugly program using subfiles, green screen. Eventually, we want to transform it into modern RPG, but eventually also with web interface. The methodology is to go one step at a time. Do steps that you can entirely test. All right? And I will say, don't do it if you cannot test it as a first. All right? And I just realized Bob was missing the paging, the subfile, the file up and down didn't work. Okay? Then, okay. Now I will use the MCP and help Bob, and you will see everything in action. Then, source code change or modernize. So what now? Okay, Bob, send it to the IBMI, compile it, and call the MCP server AI production gate to test your code. Then, all right, it's doing the first point, which is uploading the source is just change and compiling it. And we can see that soon it will answer. Yes, the compilation pass. That's good. All right, let's go ahead, Bob. Now we'll call the replay command. That is one of the tools available through our MCP server AI production gate. You can see it is all in JSON. And this is testing the real-time behavior of the new version of this program changed by Bob. And here we can see, oh, there is a mistake. Something failed. What failed? then now Bob can go to fetch some log from the MCP server again. The tool will give us, the ReplicTest tool will give you.
And there you go. Bob having the communication, making certain that you're okay with you run the command. So you've given it permission.
Yes, exactly. And Bob understood, oh, from the log, I could see that there is some paging issue. Yes. Now, I just integrated within this video what is the log that Bob just received. And Bob, on its own, he was fetching this log because he recognized, yeah, there is a return which is saying failure. And now I know I can fetch this log here. I've got resources I can fetch to have more context. And this is exactly what Bob has done on its own. And this is what you receive. And you can see this is a script I showed you before from the screen workflow. And this is a real-time workflow. And you've got many log available, but this one was about the screen. And here we could see that the log was saying, yeah, Bob, there is an issue here. There is a mismatch somewhere. There is a discrepancy between what we are getting and what we should have gotten. And it is explained, even human readable. Yep, we've got this value that differ for what is within the script from what is expected. Then Bob looked down within the script, the log, to understand, oh, right, I've got a page down. This maybe was not handled by me. Okay. Then this is how Bob understood the paging issue. Now Bob, that understood this issue, will try to auto-correct itself automatically. And then he will try again because we ask him, try again until it works.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of automation. You can do that. You can keep on trying until you get it right.
Exactly. And that's the point. And honestly, this is exactly what we ask for machines. They are here to be automated.
Yeah. So true. So true.
And here, see, Bob understood
that's what machines do well, is automation.
Exactly. Now Bob understood where to change the code, what to add. And again, now he's trying again within the loop. He's sending the new source he just changed to compile it again. And then he will try afterwards again the AI production gate to test the behavior of this code. Then the compilation pass, that is good. And now he's calling the MCP that is testing the real-time behavior. And this could take a few seconds according to the sequence of screen or scenario you've got. And here, this time, the conformity control is validated. And that's pretty impressive because
that's lovely. Yeah.
Bob did
did that whole, it's the whole loop. That's really what we're looking at.
Exactly.
And then this is what I love. Look at this, right? This isn't you doing anything. This is Bob taking what you've done and giving you the report card, right? It's telling you, okay, we ran it, it failed, I fixed it. Here it's the success, and there's the conclusions.
Exactly. And this is where we can call Bob Obi-Wan.
Yeah, nice.
And this is the one we've got now, because with this capability to call a tool that can test what it's doing again and again and again, is learning and retrying until it gets the job properly done, then there is a control of the power. Therefore, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I mean, you could have picked a few. I mean, I think I like Obi-Wan better than if you ever picked my little green friend and gone with Yoda. But so, anyways.
But here, Tim, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Because for you as an IBMer, like now with this, okay, we've got the tool that can encapsulate and automate all the context, the testing, and everything. And what I mean, everything, I mean the workflow, the I/O data, the database, but also the full buffer of everything that is working in a web or green screen or SQL access, any kind of application that can run on your IBM I. Can we tell that with these capabilities and Bob, the IBM I is unique in a way that maybe we could even say that, wow, maybe we've got a possibility with this platform to auto-modernize application with the capability of the LLM plus this full automation around it?
Yeah, I mean, good question.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential, a lot of power. I mean, the one thing that I think is pretty fascinating is I think we've got some opportunities that we've never had before because of these automation tools that have just amazing potential.
Yes, yes. Automation is a key point. And here, within this slide, you can see that automation is the mechanism of trust. Because the point is, of course, Bob will not get it the very first time. Maybe we'll need 2, 3, 5, 10 iteration. But the more he goes, the more he learns, because the other tool will give him feedback, and then he will understand where the error is coming from. And that's powerful. Or what matters is the governance of the power that makes the full picture working.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then. Now, wow, we've got, let me see, we've got some...
we got never enough time.
Yes, and this is really fascinating, I have to say. Here, we talk about agentic and autonomous AI. Agentic AI become agentic when you can call IMCP server, and this is exactly what we've got here. And we will just show that capability to Bob to call on his own tooling to test what he's producing again and again until it's got the good version of what we ask to do to Bob. And here we are fulfilling a critical gap, which is the risk of functional regression or non-compliance. And I'm not talking about only what you ask, Bob, but also traceability, regulation, all the things that you need at an enterprise level.
Yeah.
And yes, and all of this is now possible. That makes the things very interesting. Here we've got an overview about what all of these mechanisms cover. We've got the AI feedback loop.
I love the feedback loop. That's huge.
Yes, that's the main thing, really, because Bob is like, we understand Bob is intelligent, but if I could use
Bob is all about information. And if I can give it information repeatably, Bob is going to be able to act upon that information in a repeatable manner and get better. So
exactly.
That feedback loop is huge.
Yes.
All about information.
Yes. And that because it will leverage the fluidity of Bob to get better and better, because we've got the full context back to Bob to say, yep, this is perfectly correct, or no, there is still this thing missing, retry harder. And agent callable validation, outcome-aware testing. And here what we test is not just the code, it's the behavior. And actually, just a small word here. Testing is made of, there is mainly 3 levels: unit testing, integration testing, and end-to-end testing. Unit testing cannot be really used here, because if you ask Bob to change the code, your unit tests are attached to the code. That doesn't exist anymore because it has been changed. Then what you want to test is end-to-end testing that will test the behavior from your application. Like, my data are still the same before and after. I still have the same sequence with the same input data. Should I get the same output, and these kind of things? Then the concept is broader. Production Gate, which is the name of the tool, it will help to self-validate AI, and the deterministic design of this production gate will restore the control for your business, which is the point, because you need to control this power. Trust signal, turn test into governance artifact, and deterministic auditable feedback. And global regulation, of course, that's so important, because you've got the full traceability we talked about before, and the business continuity. Now, another aspect to give an overview about all of this new possibility. With AI and Bob, we've got certainly a new competitive advantage, but we have to choose between stability and acceleration, and to see what is missing, and what is really a return on investment. because this AI is changing the economic of risk. Because before Bob, we could say you've got two sources of perturbation: the human written code. Now you've got an extra source of perturbation, which is the AI generated autonomous code.
And that's a thing that people don't think about sometimes, right? It's, you know, what are they going to do with this AI? This is a big thing.
Exactly. Because we understand the result of power, but again, this changing, you have to trust what's going on with Bob. Then you have to govern it properly. You have to be able to trace everything, and this is exactly what we're talking about. You need a containment, and the AI prediction gate and ReplicTest make this acceleration that you can get from Bob safe in a stable system. And in today's enterprise environment, stability under acceleration is the real competitive advantage. Being fast, if you are wrong, will not help you. You want to be fast and stable.
You want to get fast correctly.
Exactly. And now we've got.
Oh, look at this! This is an exciting thing.
Exactly.
The old red book.
We'll let you talk about it.
Yeah. So back in 2014, Pascal, we put together the original IBMI modernization red book, and it was a very traditional red book. It was, I think, like 900 pages long. It had 18 different chapters in it, a ton of content. And that red book has served us really, really well for a very long time. Unfortunately, as we all know, the world of development has changed dramatically since 2014. So the exciting part is there is a new project that is just kicked off. I think we're, a week into it, Pascal, where we are taking and creating an updated version of the IBMI modernization red book. So we're super thrilled about that. That's something that is coming along. We've made good progress, but obviously there's a long way to go at this point. And hopefully within the next month and a half or so, we'll be able to have, actually it'll probably take a couple months before it's published, but we're super excited about this. And Pascal, thank you. You're one of our volunteers to help us with creating this great content.
Thanks to you. For me, it is an honor to be a part of this red book and to mainly take care of the testing automation chapter and participate.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of weird when I was kind of going through the different topics that we want to cover, right? I'm like, well, we got to have testing in here. Oh, I guess Pascal will do it.
Of course.
So thank you.
But you're really welcome, and thanks to you too, and the team. I've seen, of course, the other people, and this is very, of course, always very exciting and interesting because there is a lot of mind and good idea and great experience here.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. We have a team of about 25 writers from around the globe with all realms of expertise. We have testing experts, we have DevOps experts, we have RPG experts, tooling experts. So it's just super excited about the potential for this. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, excellent. Oh, that's cool. And hopefully in a few months' time, maybe two, let's say a few months' time, this book will be ready and available to everyone. Then while people will start to leverage Bob, they will have something to read as well.
Well, the fun part is we are working to have Bob part of the book as well, right? So that is also definitely one of those things that's on our roadmap. Is we need to have AI tooling needs to be part of the modernization discussion.
Good. Okay, but look, I will leverage the few remaining minutes to show you a little bit more about the MCP, which is the junction between Bob and our tool. And here are some examples. MCP is, again, a protocol, and you can test or set up your MCP. There is already some MCP you can install to access via SQL your database or something like that. Here we have made, obviously, for the tool AI Production Gate, a specific MCP to enable the call to any tools. And here we've got the tool list. If I do a send here, you can see here, we've got within the product we just show, there are available 39 tools to create tests, to rerun tests, to create suite of tests, to change some parameters. There are a lot here to create suites and so forth. And again, it is using JSON. And when Bob will ask something to the MCP, he will build up a JSON and have an answer. And within the answer, there is a message. And within this message, you can understand if you want to call again the MCP to access some resource. Resource could be read this file with this information or this document. And what I find interesting, Tim, as well, connecting to the Red Book, I really like what we have been saying all together, and also from your people in IBM for the Red Book, which was to write the documentation in the markdown format, which is the format Bob is using.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was laughing on the call the other day. Someone was asking, I don't know how to write markdown. And I'm like, go ask Bob. Bob will do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. And we also use within this tool markdown format, because we understand it is easy for the human to be read, but also for Bob, understanding Bob is using it to generate whatever he's saying.
So if you go back to the demo that I just showed, that little brief one, that document that Bob was creating to do the explain was in markdown format.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, and here again for the ReplicTest tool, here we've got many commands, but that's fine. I may show you the log that we saw before for the video I show you is like this one. This is for green screen, but we've got the same things for web application. Of course, information will be the same, but that as well information that Bob will be able to understand as contextual information to go ahead and to retry harder within what is modernizing. And also the combination between I am a green screen, I want to become RPG free, whatever it is, but next step, I want to become web with web services. And we can also, of course, mix several technology within what is tested to give context back to Bob, and everything is translated with batch script that can be replayed automatically. And I believe with this, we are done. I believe we didn't enable the chat conversation for all the attendees. I'm sure many people has got many questions. I hope with Tim we were able to give you an exciting overview about all of those new possibilities. If you need more information, of course, Tim is available for whatever is related to Bob, plus many other things, like soccer in the US, for instance.
Yeah. So again, we got a lot of exciting things coming up. I don't post to LinkedIn a lot, but I post to LinkedIn super important things. I posted the RFA for Bob. I'll be posting when Bob goes live. Yeah. When this Red Book is available, I will be posting. So if you ever want to know what's going on with the latest modernization, I do try to get the important things, and LinkedIn is where I tend to post. So keep an eye on whatever it is. And you can also follow Steve Will. You can also follow Scott Forresty. They also do a lot of updates on the latest things that are happening on our great platform.
Yes, and right. It is really a very interesting period for all of us. That's good.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
Super exciting.
And me too, I'm available for any information you will want to have about Bob as well. The more I go, the more I've got experience, and plus the tooling, obviously, that we show you today, that you can already start to use today to start to record some scenario to give more context to Bob when you will jump within it. Okay, I believe we are
excellent.
Yes, but Tim, it was a real pleasure I'm looking forward for the next time we have an occasion to be in a restaurant to eat some escargot together.
I don't think I've had escargot since you and I had it together, so I'm definitely overdue. It was quite delightful.
We will. This is on the to-do list.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Pascal, for this opportunity to join you. I really appreciate it.
But me too. It was real fun and a lot of useful information. Thanks again, and have a nice end of your day, everyone. And
happy bobbing.
Bye-bye.